So, Sachin Jaiswal.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something about yourself.
Sir, currently I am pursuing my BTech from Heritage Institute of Technology, and my area of specialization is information technology. Sir, I am a hard-working individual, sir, and I believe that confidence is the key to success, and that's why I try to remain positive and confident about everything I do.
Your portfolio?
देखते हैं कितना दम है.
Tell me something about your subjects. Subjects you're studying during last 3 years.
Sir, C and data structure.
अरे और क्या था? शिट यार, याद क्यों नहीं आ रहा? भाई आसान वाला कौन सा था? अरे कहाँ गए सारे सब्जेक्ट?
So we had software engineering,
DBMS, database management system. Don't you know that?
Oh yeah?
DBMS, yes sir. Yes.
You don't have any technical knowledge. What have you done in last 3 years?
अरे भाई अभी डिस्टर्ब मत कर यार, देख नहीं रहा है? फिर मर गया साला, काउंटर टेररिस्ट ने फिर मार दिया मुझे। क्लास में जो पढ़ाते कुछ समझ में आता है नहीं, और ऊपर से अब ये CGSG की मोह माया से तो दूर ही हूँ। देख, बस देख इसको, दिन रात 24 घंटे बस पढ़ते ही रहता है, देख के आग लग जाती है। आगे का क्या होगा पता नहीं, फिलहाल तो बस काउंटर टेररिस्ट जिंदाबाद।
कुछ समझ में आ नहीं रहा, क्या पढ़ा रहा मास्टर, सब बाउंस चल रहा। पता नहीं मम्मी पापा क्यों भेज दिए कोचिंग सेंटर, मुझे तो फोटोग्राफर बनना था। पता नहीं मैं इस साइंस क्लास में क्या कर रहा हूँ। मुझे क्या इस साइन एक्स का डिफरेंस है, कोस एक्स हो 10x हो, मुझे क्या करना है इससे। भगवान जाने आगे जाके मेरा क्या होगा।
With a literacy rate of 66% and a budget of nearly rupees 1 lakh crore, the Indian education system is one of the oldest education systems in the world. Having established the Nalanda University in the 5th century AD, the Indians gave the world the first university conformal scheme, boasting of an extensive and rigorous curriculum. Once the Indian education system has gifted the world some of the finest technocrats, entrepreneurs, and educationists. In an era of choices at the graduate level, engineering and medical still dominates as a favored discipline. There are 3,393 engineering colleges in India with a capacity of 14.85 lakh seats across 36 courses, approved by the All Indian Council of Technical Education, otherwise known as the AICTE. Of the total number of colleges, 65% are in South and 35% are in North. Talking about the medical colleges in India, there are 348 colleges which offer a course in MBBS, out of which 160 are state-run and 188 are private colleges. There are a total of 63,800 medical seats in India. So, going after a medical college has become a rat race in present scenario. The Indian education system also provides several choices at the high school level. Various education boards such as the Central Board of Secondary Education, the Indian Certificate of Secondary Education, as well as various state boards strive to provide quality education at the high school level to the Indian masses. Keith Ballard, a renowned educationist in California, having an experience of 17 years, decided to take a closer look at the present Indian education system. He flew all the way to India to ask some students of middle school as well as primary school about their aim in life. A common trend was observed when it came to the choice of career among Indian students. Here are some of the responses.
What do you want to be?
I want to be a doctor.
You want to be a doctor. Great. What do you want to be?
I want to be a doctor.
You want to be a doctor. How about you?
I want to be a scientist.
You want to be a scientist. What do you want to be?
I want to be a cardiologist and neurologist.
You want to be a what?
Cardiologist and neurologist.
Neurologist. Oh my gosh, that's a specialty doctor. What do you want to be?
Doctor.
You want to be a doctor. What do you want to be?
I want to be a doctor.
You want to be a doctor. So many doctors. What do you want to be?
I want to be a doctor.
You want to be a doctor. Oh my gosh.
I want to be an aeronautical engineer.
Aeronautical engineer. And how about you? What do you want to be?
I want a civil engineer.
Civil engineer.
I want to become a scientist.
You want to be a scientist. What do you want to be?
I want to become a doctor.
You want to be a doctor. What do you want to be?
Engineer. Civil engineer.
Civil engineer. What do you want to be?
I want to become a doctor.
A doctor. How about you?
I want to become a computer engineer.
A computer engineer.
Mechanical engineer.
We decided to take up a survey of our own following this video.
I want to be a software engineer and my aim is to be an architect.
Then I want to be an IITian.
I want to be a pediatrician.
I want to be a doctor in my life. Then my aim in life is to be a doctor.
ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ mechanical engineer ବନିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି।
I want to be an architectural engineer.
My aim is to become an IITian.
I want to be a doctor because my aim is to go in medical line and I want to become a successful doctor.
My aim is character developer.
My aim is to be a cardiologist.
And I want to become an IPS officer because
To become doctor because
Engineering and medical came out to be the most favored disciplines. Based on our survey, we present you the following pie chart. We see an alarming inclination towards a certain variety of career options. Hence, we ask these students the reason for their choices and try to analyze their preference of one career option over the other.
my aim of life is doctor because I want to fulfill my parents' dream. My father is a doctor and I too want to be like him. And my mama wants me to be a doctor. My father also says me that you should join them.
I want to become a automobile engineer because I like the sports and fast cars.
Because my father's dream is I want to be a IS officer in future. This is my father's dream.
I want to fulfill my parents' dream.
We observed that in large number of cases, the students attributed the reason for their choices to their parents. This reveals a flawed social design in our nation. We live in a society where some educational disciplines are considered as better than others, some vocations looked down and some revered. The root cause of these lies in the inherent lacuna of the Indian education system, which we try to critically examine. The Indian education system is not actually Indian. It was imposed on the country by the British. The imperialists had just one goal in mind: to create a population of educated clerks and coolies so that they served the British Empire better. India was set free in 1947, but successive governments did little to change the education system. In fact, they only made it worse over the next few decades. Here is the list of top 7 detectable flaws in the Indian education system which must be removed if the government is actually serious about the country's development. Serious lack of functional literacy. Many Asian countries, including China, have invested heavily in primary education. Their fundamental goal is to increase functional literacy. The lack of creativity along with dull and monotonous routine of the Indian students, which includes less or negligible focus on fields other than academics, hampers their efficiency of learning.
In India, once you get into this academic course and you're serious about it, you don't have much of the option to choose between academics and something else. It's either academics and nothing else.
Disparity in various streams. A large majority of Indian parents and students look up to engineering, medicine, law and management as better streams. The Indian education system is such that vocational streams are always looked down upon. If a young student wishes to make a career out of his or her hobby, then she or he has to fight or convince the entire society before going ahead with the plans. Chalk and talk system of teaching. The Indian education system is firmly stuck with the old and traditional system of chalk and talk. Technology plays little or no role. Little room for world-class research. There is little or no room for world-class research in the Indian education system. Even if a university student has great ideas and manages to implement one of them despite having to appear for a dozen exams every year, she or he has to align well with the department head, professor in charge or director of the educational institution If he or she deviates even slightly from what a professor with outdated knowledge thinks and believes in, the student is likely to get no funding for research, average grades, and no recommendation in the future. The education system promotes private tuitions. Private coaching institutions in India do not teach students how to do well as a citizen, be a successful professional, start a business, or carry out research on a topic. They just prepare students for board or entrance examination. It is ironic that students have to take up private tuitions despite attending schools for 7 to 8 hours every day.
Yeah, IIT, AIEEE or some engineering, good as rated engineering. Mostly it will help my job opportunities.
Theoretical knowledge forced upon young students. In the Indian education system, teachers impart theoretical and not practical knowledge to students at all the levels. The biggest flaw of this system is that it kills curiosity, the human nature that leads to development.
The Chinese, unless they find you, are going to find much less ability and range to be able to put out that creativity because of the limits of their political system.
Right.
Same thing with India, the limits of the economy and the social system.
You got to get
Rote learning or mugging, which destroys a child's intuitive faculties and intellectual abilities, is actively enforced.
Body spelling.
Our education systems are far from perfect, but some individuals broke out of the bonds of educational systems and created their own path. No one decided which path they are to follow, neither their society nor their parents. It was their own passion which made them select these paths. Today we know them as one of the most successful individuals in the world.
I was 13 when I first got access to a computer.
My parents bought me a Macintosh in 1984 when I was 8 years old.
I was in 6th grade.
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I think it was pretty humble beginnings. I think the first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing.
We observe that these individuals had their goals fixed since an early age. They followed this with passion and succeeded in their respective field. They serve as an inspiration to all of us to follow the road less traveled.
The United States imports oil from Saudi Arabia, cars from Japan, TVs from Korea, and whiskey from Scotland. So what do we import from India? We import people, really smart people. And as you're about to see, the smartest, most successful, most influential Indians who've migrated to the U.S. seem to share a common credential. They're graduates of the Indian Institute of Technology, better known as IIT.
This was the view 30 years ago. One of the toughest and prestigious examinations in the world, the IIT JEE entrance examination, tests the analytical and intellectual skills of the students. Cracking this entrance examination qualifies you as one of the most brilliant minds in the nation. But even the most brilliant minds of the nation have joined the rat race. They decide to change their disciplines to improve their financial stability instead of their technical abilities.
टारगेट अभी ऐसा फिक्स नहीं है, बट शायद MBA करूं, पर मैं उसमें मतलब गारंटी नहीं दे रहा हूं. इन 4 सालों में मैं प्रॉपर्ली डिसाइड कर पाऊंगा कि आगे क्या करना. Here are some of our suggested changes for the education system. Incorporating technology in education. Technical advancements have made it possible to impart education in the best possible manner.
Teachers will not be replaced by technology, but teachers who don't use technology will be replaced by those who do. Whether it's the cool factor or just a genuine interest in new technology, it allows the teacher to vary the activities of the day and engage students. Counseling at high school and middle school level. Efficient counseling at these levels will help students select their disciplines in future and provide them with an ample idea about the type of stream they are to enter.
But is there enough guidance available?
A successful cousin, local counselor, friends,
and so many of them. But those who can really provide reasonable guidance are those who are actually building children's foundation. Yes, we are talking about schools.
Be more practical in imparting knowledge, even if it means covering lesser domains.
1, 2, relax. What does it remind you of? 1, 0.
Schools should be more playful and sport-oriented at junior level with appropriate focus on extracurricular activities. Make as many options available to students as possible in terms of arts, sports, music and other fronts so that students have multitude of choices.
Interestingly, many times our career choices have been decided even before we could spell career.
Engineer. हाली लीली, इसका आँखें तो देखो, बड़ा होकर डॉक्टर बनोगे बाबू।
Hey, champ, you will be a pilot one day.
Spread awareness in society to break down the orthodox beliefs.